Module 9, Strategic Risk Assessment and Contingency Planning. Module Overview. Module 9 focuses on the identification, evaluation, and management of strategic risks, emphasizing the importance of proactive contingency planning to ensure organizational resilience. Leaders operate in complex, dynamic environments where uncertainty and unpredictability are constants. Strategic risk assessment enables decision-makers to anticipate potential disruptions, understand their implications, and develop structured mitigation strategies. 1. Understanding strategic risks. Definition and classification of strategic risks: operational, financial, reputational, technological, regulatory, and geopolitical. Differentiating strategic risks from tactical or operational risks. Recognizing the impact of internal and external factors on organizational risk exposure. The interplay between uncertainty, volatility, and strategic decision-making. 2. Risk identification and assessment techniques. Tools for risk identification: risk registers, brainstorming, SWOT analysis, PESTLE analysis, and scenario planning. Evaluating the likelihood, impact, and interdependencies of risks. Qualitative versus quantitative risk assessment methodologies. Prioritization of risks using risk matrices, scoring systems, and heat maps. 3. Risk mitigation strategies, risk avoidance, reduction, transfer, and acceptance strategies. Developing proactive measures to minimize the probability and impact of adverse events. Integration of risk mitigation into strategic objectives and decision-making. Case studies on organizations successfully implementing risk mitigation frameworks. 4. Contingency planning definition and purpose of contingency plans in strategic management. Steps to develop robust contingency plans. Identify critical risks, define triggers, assign responsibilities, and develop response protocols. Aligning contingency plans with organizational capabilities and resources. Communication and training for effective execution of contingency measures. 5. Crisis management and strategic response frameworks for crisis preparedness, response and recovery. Leadership roles during crisis. Decision-making, coordination, and communication. Maintaining organizational reputation and stakeholder trust during disruptions. Post-crisis evaluation and learning to strengthen future resilience. 6. Integrating risk assessment and contingency planning, with strategy linking risk analysis and mitigation to long-term strategic objectives. Using scenario analysis to anticipate and prepare for alternative futures. Balancing risk-taking and risk management for competitive advantage. Continuous monitoring, review, and adaptation of risk and contingency plans. 7. Ethical and regulatory considerations. Ensuring compliance with legal and regulatory standards in risk management. Ethical responsibility in risk-informed decision-making. Transparency and accountability in risk reporting and stakeholder communication. 8. Practical applications. Case studies illustrating successful risk assessment, mitigation, and contingency planning. Workshops simulating high-risk scenarios and strategic response exercises. Exercises on developing risk registers, heat maps, and contingency plans. Reflection on personal and organizational risk management practices and improvement areas.